Everyone carries a shadow, and the less it is embodied in the individual's conscious life, the blacker and denser it is. At all counts, it forms an unconscious snag, thwarting our most well-meant intentions. Carl Jung. You think you're free. You think you choose your desires, your loves, your silences. But in the dead of night, when the world falls still and your mask slips, something else speaks. Not the polished self you show the world, not the good man, the moral soul, the enlightened mind. It's raw, unfiltered, shameful. Desire that doesn't fit your script, power, submission, control, fear. A man sits alone in the dark, his phone glowing, scrolling past images he'll never admit to wanting. His thumb hesitates, his pulse quickens, his guilt burns. He locks the screen, but the shadow doesn't sleep. It watches. It waits. Carl Jung didn't call it evil. He called it your sexual shadow. The brutal truth, you don't bury it. You empower it. The more you hide, the more it owns you. This isn't about chasing every urge. This is about facing what's already there. Here we don't glorify pain. We name it. We let it burn. Subscribe not for comfort, but to confront what's clawing at your soul. The lie was seductive. Be pure. Be good. Be safe. You learned it young, didn't you? A glance that lingered too long, a thought too wild, a need too raw, and the world called it wrong. Dirty. Dangerous. Your parents, your church, your culture, they handed you a cage and called it virtue. You thought you could outrun your shadow by being better, cleaner, more evolved. But the shadow doesn't die. It festers. It's in the fantasies you can't shake, creeping in when you're alone. It's in the dreams that leave you trembling, the sudden guilt when someone sees too much. You chase meaningless hookups to feel alive, then shut down when intimacy gets too close. You crave control or surrender and despise yourself for it. You confuse love with performance sex, with validation. The silence isn't calm, it's suffocation. You're not dysfunctional, you're divided. The part of you you've exiled, the part you've called sick. Sinful too much, it's not gone. It's screaming. The harder you push it down, the louder it gets. Your body betrays your denial. A racing heart, a clenched jaw, a hunger no distraction can fill. Desire isn't just sex. It's instinct wired into your nerves, your blood, your bones. It's the pulse of life itself, and you've tried to strangle it. Shame twists instinct into obsession. You judge your desires so they grow sharper. You suppress them so they mutate. The shadow isn't just lust. It's every piece of you you've disowned, your vulnerability, your power, your need to be seen. You thought repression was transcendence, but it's amputation. The shadow is your soul's signal, crying for wholeness. It's not your flaw. It's your unlived truth begging to be reclaimed. The shadow is a mirror reflecting the self you've rejected. You thought you could shatter it. You can't. What if your deepest desire isn't a sin, but a signal? What if it's been trying to lead you home all along? The shadow tempts you to run, to hide, to act out. Don't. True strength is standing still, seeing the storm, and refusing to flinch. A shadow that can't break you will bend to you. You think you're in control. You smile for the world. Say the right words, play the part. But the shadow doesn't obey. It seeps into your life, your relationships, your quiet moments. You lash out at those who spark your desire, blaming them for your unease. You chase what wounds you, empty encounters, toxic patterns, and reject what heals you. Depth, vulnerability. Truth. You touch without feeling love, without presence, live without aliveness. The cost is steep. You wake up next to someone you don't feel. You stay in relationships that numb you. Destroy the ones that make you feel too much. You call it low libido stress maturity. It's not. It's grief. Grief For the desires you never named the power, you never claimed the parts of you you buried to be good. Your partner feels it too. They don't know why, but they sense the vacancy. They blame themselves, question their worth, beg for connection. But they're not the problem. You are. Not because you're broken, but because you're divided. You can't give what you haven't reclaimed. You can't touch a soul if you're still afraid of your own. The damage spreads, your creativity stalls, your spiritual life flattens, your sense of meaning fades. You procrastinate, overthink, numb out. You call it burnout, fatigue life. Jung called it disintegration. You're dismantling yourself by refusing to feel. Society fuels this. It sells desire to drive clicks to fill wallets, but fears its truth. It wants you confused, half alive, chasing shadows instead of facing them. A hypersexualized world profits from your shame, your fragmentation. Your body bears the burden. Chronic fatigue dulled senses a life half-lived. Suppressing desire doesn't just kill passion, it kills vitality, the spark that drives you to create, to connect, to be. Division breeds projection. You obsess over others who embody what you've buried: freedom, dominance, softness, guiltless pleasure. You judge them, desire them, hate them, try to save them. They're not the answer. They're your mirror showing you what you've lost. The shadow isn't just personal, it's archetypal. It's the raw creative force of your soul, blocked by shame. Deny it, and you don't just lose passion, you lose purpose. The mirror cracks. You thought others held your truth, your salvation, your shame. They don't. They only reflect your refusal to see. Did you bury your shadow, mentre per essere al sicuro, o per risparmiare agli altri la verità di chi sei? That which is done out of love always takes place beyond good and evil. Nietzsche knew your desire isn't moral or immoral, it's human. Judging it splits you in two. The shadow will test you. It will provoke, seduce, terrify. Hold the line. A man who faces his darkness doesn't bow to it, he shapes it. Jung didn't say, indulge the shadow. He said, know it, see it, speak to it. Not to act on every impulse, but to understand its roots, its pain, its purpose. When you face it, something shifts. You stop fearing yourself. You stop apologizing for being human. You start to become whole. This isn't about chasing every urge. It's about asking the hard questions. Who taught me this was wrong? What am I afraid of feeling? What would happen if I let it breathe, not to act, not to suppress, but to feel? The shadow isn't your enemy. It's your unmet need for integration. Emotional, physical, spiritual wholeness. Start small. Name the desire you've hidden. Feel the shame without running. See the fantasy without judgment. The shadow changes. It becomes power, not domination. Presence, not performance. Embodiment, not emptiness. You stop chasing validation to feel whole. You stop shrinking to ease others' discomfort. You stand in your raw, honest truth. Society doesn't want this. It wants you distracted, chasing empty highs, settling for lifeless intimacy. But when you face your shadow, you break free. You stop betraying yourself to fit in. You stop letting shame dictate your life. Facing the shadow restores your body. Energy returns. Desire flows not as compulsion, but as vitality, creativity, life. Your senses wake up, your aliveness returns. Awareness ends projection. You stop seeing others as saviors or threats. You reclaim the parts you've outsourced: your strength, your softness, your truth. You become your own compass. Wholeness isn't perfection, it's the union of opposites. Light and dark, instinct and soul. The shadow is your path to the divine, not your barrier. The mirror becomes a window. You don't just see yourself. You see through to the life you've been avoiding, the life that's yours to claim. The shadow doesn't need to be tamed or destroyed. It needs to be met. A man who faces his darkness doesn't bend to it. He forges it into strength. You thought hiding your shadow would save you. You thought it would make you good, safe, acceptable. You were wrong. The lie you built your life on was that you could be whole while denying half of yourself. Your shadow isn't your flaw. It's your truth unclaimed waiting. It's not here to hurt you. It's here to bring you home. You don't need to fix it. You need to face it. Not to perform, not to please, but to stand in your full humanity. The moment you kneel to shame, you forget how to stand for yourself. The moment you confront your shadow, you reclaim your sovereignty. Stillness doesn't mean silence, it means sovereignty. Jung said, "One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious. Your shadow isn't your enemy, it's your rebirth. We forfeit 3/4 of ourselves in order to be like other people." Schopenhauer's warning echoes: stop forfeiting, start reclaiming. If you felt the shadow's weight, comment below. Let no man face this alone. For more truths that cut through the lies, subscribe to Philosoul. If this truth woke something in you, share it. There's a man out there still sleeping, still hiding. This is where the illusion ends, and your real life begins.
Thank you for watching. Walk your path with quiet strength.